ever since. And so it really started with Young Democrats. That's what really catapulted me again into other roles that I've had in politics. I've been fortunate enough to work on campaigns and to
Mhm.
get paid doing so. Because you know how politics can be, it's a
Yeah.
volunteer based industry, right? You have to volunteer, you have to knock on doors and all that. And so I was fortunate to have great mentors who said, hey, you should get paid for doing this. And so that's kind
Absolutely.
of how I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you're telling me is that it's possible to grow up in politics and
Mhm.
not come up from a wealthy or affluent family.
No, that has been my story. I worked really hard as a community college student. I was an intern for a congressman in Merced, which is where I was living at the time. And I mean, there was no discussion of whether or not we would get paid. We were just told
Mhm.
you're not getting paid. And so I had to work a separate job. I was a student ambassador for our campus. And so I was getting paid $9 an hour, which was at the time a lot of money. And so I would have to work extra hours to make up for the time I spent working as an intern because I needed the cash, right, to get to buy books and get to school and all that kind of stuff. I mean, going to college can be expensive for working class folks, and so um, yeah, it is possible. It is definitely possible. I think that the way that our industry is changing is
Mhm.
really positive. I was reading an article in the LA Times yesterday about how assembly legislative aides are trying to unionize.
Yeah.
And I think that is so necessary and important. So, the legislative aides at City Hall here in Berkeley, we are part of SEIU 1021. And really just a groundbreaking thing for us to be a part of because we work such long hours.
Yep.
We don't get paid very well, right? Like, at least, especially back then. And so, a lot of times, what would happen is we wouldn't be able to take these internships because they wouldn't pay. And so when I graduated from UC Berkeley, I got an opportunity to work for the congressman that I had been working for in DC, but it was an unpaid internship and I
Mhm.
needed a job. And
Yeah.
so I made a really tough decision. And I think about that to this day. Like, what would have happened if I'd gone to DC, right, when I was 21 years old? Where would I be now? What would I be doing? Um, but I was fortunate. I got a job at the Greenlining Institute. And so the rest, as they say, is history. And I'm
Yeah.
really proud of what I've been able to accomplish without having that family wealth behind me. Right. So hopefully that can be an inspiration to other people who think that this is just a rich person's game, because I don't think it is.